Mindset matters. Mindset is part of my signature framework. Soul strategy, mindset, embodiment, right? It matters. It's important. It's part of the transformation process. It's part of you becoming that confident Creatrix CEO. It's necessary. It's part of the journey. But where we get tripped up in mindset and we find ourselves in the mindset spiral is that we are trying to mental our way out of our blocks, trying to mental our way out of our challenges, out of our challenges, our obstacles, our blocks, right? You can't mental or mindset your way out of everything.
Welcome, I'm Kelsey, soul embodiment coach and biz mentor, helping women soulpreneurs unleash their Creatrix CEO so they can build a business they love, express their magic in medicine, and live their version of happy, successful, and impactful.
You can't mental or mindset your way out of it, okay? You need that embodiment piece. So mindset is a tool for self-awareness. We need to connect to those limiting beliefs. We need to connect to those disempowered thoughts, right? So that we can reframe them, so that we can transform those thought processes in our mind space, right? So that we can build new beliefs, right? The second piece of mindset is that not only is it just a tool for awareness, it's also a tool for empowered action. Mindset informs your action. Mindset informs your action. And so where a lot of people get stuck in that mindset spiral is they're trying to think their way through it. They're trying to think their way through their visibility block or through their sales block or through their money block or whatever it is, right? And they stop at the self-awareness piece and don't take that mindset further into the empowered embodiment, into the empowered action piece, okay? So your body is your brain, AKA your nervous system is an extension of your brain, okay? So your nervous system permeates your entire body, your being, right? So when you are trying to think your way out of a problem, a challenge, an obstacle, you get stuck. That's the mindset spiral I'm talking about, right? Building those new beliefs, building those new neural pathways in the brain is step one. Giving it a place to live inside the body is that step two, the empowered action, the embodiment piece, which again is why my framework is soul strategy, mindset, and embodiment. Because we're not just transforming your beliefs, we are transforming the way you be and do, right? That's what being a Creatrix CEO is. She knows that it doesn't end here, that there is so much more for her. If she wants more, if she wants to be more, if she wants to do more, if she wants to serve more, if she wants to have more, if she wants to receive more, it's in the body. It's in the body. She can't mental her way through stuff, right? So that's the difference between being a manifesting mindset magician, the people that are like manifesting mindset wizards, and the ones that are feeling stuck in that mindset spiral is because there is that empowered action piece. Mindset informs your action. Mindset informs your action, right? So just to put this into perspective, to give you kind of an example, it would be like, I'm totally drawing a blank, but let's say there's a lead that you want to follow up with, okay, in your business, right? There's someone who's been interested in the offer you're providing. You guys have maybe chit-chatted back and forth and you really want to make the pitch. You want to give them like this, you want to give them the sales pitch. You want to say, listen, like, I think you're a good fit for my thing. Like, let's do this, right? So you're wanting to reach out to this lead and you're pumping yourself up with that, with your mindset, with your beliefs. Like, I believe that this offer is amazing, that I'm amazing at what I do, that I can truly help this person, that this person actually, this person is my ideal client. So why wouldn't I say yes to serving them? Why wouldn't I make the sales pitch? Like, this client came to me, we are in alignment. Why wouldn't I say yes to this opportunity to live my dreams, to embody my Creatrix CEO self, and to serve the shit out of this human, right? I believe you're working on those beliefs. I believe that this is an opportunity. I believe that this is fate, that we are destined for each other. Like, whatever your flavor of mindset, belief, looks like, right? When it comes to sales, or just generally when it comes to a business goal, right? Like landing a sale, reaching out to this lead. All of that is beautiful, right? Like all of that pumping up, all of that, if you have a limiting belief there, reframing it to give yourself that empowered boost. All of that is beautiful, but it doesn't end there, right? We have to go actually reach out to the lead. We have to actually take the action. And so it's a little bit of the being and doing versus being, like, conversation. Mindset is that awareness tool that helps us understand who it is we want to be. But in order to be that person, we have to take action, right? I want to be someone that reaches out to every lead and gives them the most empowered, authentic sales pitch that I can, so that I give them a fully informed opportunity to buy from me and to connect with me and to make a decision on what is the next best step for them, right? That's the kind of CEO, Creatrix CEO I want to be. And so if I were to be that person, I would have this belief and I would act on it in this way, right? And we stop at the acting part. We think, okay, if I think this enough, then someday I'll actually believe it, and then I'll go take the action, right? If I think this enough, then someday I'll fully believe it, and when that day comes, then I'll go take the action. That's the mindset spiral that keeps us stuck, that keeps you blocked, that keeps you in that space where it feels like you're doing all the work because you're doing all the inner work, but it isn't actually moving your business forward because the action isn't there, right? The empowered action isn't there. So here is how we break that mindset spiral. Are you ready? Embodiment. Embodiment tools. Getting into pleasure, getting into our body, cultivating relationship with our nervous system, and learning how to take that empowered action that the mindset has informed us on, right, as the awareness tool that it is. Cultivating safety, cultivating spaciousness in our nervous system so that we can actually go take that empowered action that the mindset has informed us on. That's what embodiment, that's what pleasure, that's what receivership is all about. Again, you can't mental your way or mindset your way through everything. You need the empowered action piece. You need the embodiment piece. You need to be in your body so that you can do the thing that your beingness wants you to be and do, right? So, okay, where are we? So embodiment is the key ingredient. Pleasure, embodied pleasure, let's say. Embodied pleasure is the key ingredient to up-leveling your mindset game, because you're adding in that secondary piece. Mindset's an awareness tool, yes, and it informs empowered action, right? So it's a tool for awareness and informing empowered action. So we take that information and we actually apply it, and we go, okay, if I were the most badass Creatrix CEO self that I want to be, that I'm claiming to be, that I am believing myself to be, I kind of have to show up as her before I fully feel ready, before I fully believe that it's possible to be her, right? That's the embodiment piece, that's the pleasure piece, or that's the embodiment piece, and we use pleasure to help us get to that state of being, okay? So, cultivating that relationship with our body as our brain, our body being that extension of the brain. So we're doing the mindset beliefs. Who is it that I want to be? What do I believe is possible? And now how can I go enact that? Like literally become that in action. Where is there resistance in my body, and how can I support that? How can I create spaciousness there? How can I create pleasure there? How can I create ease there so that I'm eliminating some of the resistance and making it easier to show up as that Creatrix CEO self that I'm claiming to be, that I desire to be, that I want to be, and take the action step, right? From a state of empowerment to the best of my ability with the resources I have, which means sometimes we're taking action scared, right? Sometimes we're taking action scared, when we're in self-doubt, but we are using embodiment and we're using our pleasure tools to create a more desirable state, again, to the best of our abilities with the resources we have, even if it's just 1 degree more, just 1 degree more of spaciousness or turn on or pleasure in our body, so that we can become the mindset or the belief in action, right? From knowing what it is we want to making it a lived reality in our body, okay? Through empowered action. Does that make sense? Again, every single client that I've ever worked with has been in the mindset spiral where they are trying to mental their way through their process. They are trying to mental their way through their challenge or their problem or their block or whatever it is. If I think it enough, then I'll finally believe it and then I'll be able to act on it. So this is what every coach or teacher or whatever out there, mentor is saying, like, take scared action, do it before you feel ready. This is what we're talking about. Mindset is part of this picture, but taking the action, creating spaciousness in your body and nervous system for the action to live and breathe is that next step. And that's what mindset really is. It's not just the self-awareness tool. It's the informed action tool, right? And you can think about it, how do I want to say this? Like, I think sometimes we feel that the root of the problem is a limiting belief. Like we would say the root of most of my money problems or my visibility problems or whatever when it comes to business is a limiting belief. Yeah, sure. Sure, that might be the origin, right? But the way we actually transform a limiting belief is by demonstrating to that limiting belief, or demonstrating to our brain or to our mind, however you want to frame it, that some other reality is possible. And the only way to do that is to go be the other reality that is possible. You know what I mean? And that takes action. That takes demonstrating that a different mode of being and doing or existing or feeling exists, that it is possible, even if you do it scared, even if you do it while you're wobbling on your doubts and beliefs, you know what I mean? Using your pleasure tools and using your embodiment tools to create that just 1 degree more of spaciousness, 1 degree more of pleasure, 1 degree more of ease in your experience, okay? So I have a coach that I am aspiring to work with, and when she started her business, she said that every time she was doing sales calls, she would get in a bubble bath before the sales call. And maybe even after. She made it sound like it was the bubble baths were like a really big deal. She would either do them before or after, or maybe like sandwich her sales calls in between, honestly, because it was like nerve-wracking. It was terrifying to get on these sales calls for her. And so she used pleasure and her embodiment tools for her. It's the bubble bath in this situation, to be in her body, to create that spaciousness in her being, in her vessel, to create and cultivate a state of ease, a state of pleasure, a state of peace, a state of confidence, right? She would use, like, the bubble bath was her anchor to getting into that state of being, where the mindset and the beliefs she was working on about what it is she was capable of as the CEO of her business felt in alignment, felt congruent with her state of being, right? So some days when you're feeling good, when you're in a good mood, when the day is working, when everything's going in your favor, those beliefs that you are working on as the CEO of your business, they feel tangible, they feel possible, right? They feel reachable. When you're feeling good, when you're in a good state of being, those beliefs feel possible, right? They feel real. On those days, you feel really confident. When you're having a shit day, all of that mindset stuff feels really hard. And you're like, okay, all my dreams and all these beliefs I've been working on feel really fucking far away, because your state of being is just in a more vulnerable place, right? So embodiment and pleasure, like using your pleasure tools and getting into your body and cultivate. Embodiment for me is just cultivating an awareness with your beingness, right? So not that mental space, but who you be, your state of being, right? And how you're taking action with it and on it, right? So embodiment and using your pleasure tools is all about creating that anchor. Like, what is your most desirable state of being? Like this person in the bubble bath, right? They're like, okay, I'm gonna go do a big scary thing for my business. It's truly terrifying. I'm gonna have to show up in wild ways. I'm gonna have to make the sales pitch on the sales call. Like, this is truly fucking scary. How can I create spaciousness in my body so that I can show up and be the person I want to be? How can I create spaciousness in my body so that I can enact the beliefs that I've been working on in my mindset work? How can I show up and transform everything I know to be true and everything I know to be possible for me into living wisdom? How can I demonstrate to my brain, to my mind, that this is actually possible by being it and doing it, right? In order to get to that state of being where I'm feeling empowered and I'm feeling confident, even if I'm still like scared. It's the bubble bath, right? For her, it was the bubble bath. Cultivating that sense of spaciousness, pleasure, ease, confidence, whatever, peace, whatever your flavor is for you, right? What does your flavor or version of empowerment look like? Is it more peaceful? Is it more easeful? Or is it like fired up boss bitch energy? You know what I mean? You gotta find what your state of being, the state of being that well, here's your homework. Let's just give you homework, right? Think about, what is your flavor of empowerment? Again, is it that peaceful, ethereal, goddess vibes, confidence, right? Or is it boss bitch vibes energy, fired up, opinionated, wild? Like, what is your flavor of empowered Creatrix CEO energy? And then what puts you in that state of being? My go-to pleasure tools for getting into my body and creating that spaciousness and cultivating that empowered state of being: headphones and music. Like, I can listen to music, but putting on the headphones is just like transports me. It's a whole nother level of state of being. Headphone music and dancing. I need to move my body. I need to like feel myself. Like, that's my shit. And that's what puts me into my most empowered state of being, right? So those are my go-to anchors for creating, like, in the moment. If I need to conjure that state of being in the moment, those are my tools. And then just cultivating that state of being, you know, long term, continuing to return to it, continuing to nurture it, continuing to like expand my capacity to conjure it up in any moment and hold it for longer, hold that state of empowered beingness longer, right? So if I'm gonna go do a scary thing, which like 3 years ago when I started doing lives, I would have to like put on my headphones and dance before lives because they freaking terrified me. Now I have no problem getting up live. But so when, you know, whatever your business, in your business, whatever the scary thing is that you're trying to do, that you feel blocked, that you feel like no matter how much I try to talk myself up and no matter how much I try to think my way through this and mental my way through this and mindset my way through this, I just can't seem to like do the thing. This is your invitation to get into that embodied awareness, cultivate relationship with your body as your brain, and use your pleasure tools, create your anchors, find your anchors. What are your go-to pleasure things that put you in your desired state of being, your empowered state of being, right? Does that make sense? Here's just another example of like how you can't mindset your way through shit. You need that embodied piece. You need to demonstrate to your beingness that a different reality is possible. You need to demonstrate to your brain that a different beingness, that a different reality is possible. That's what showing up as your Creatrix CEO self before you feel like her is all about. So I have a goal so I joined a dance class. This is for my pleasure and joy outside of business, because business can't be your all and everything. That's a whole nother Creatrix live that we should do when it comes to purpose-based business work. But anyway, for my joy and for my pleasure and expanding my capacity to be in joy and pleasure and feel fucking good and be an empowered badass lady, I joined a dance class. And I set a goal to go 2 times a month, any day, anytime. I didn't have any rhyme or reason around scheduling it. It was just like whenever I had time, I was going to make sure that I went 2 times a month. So the other day I had time on my schedule. It just made sense that I would go that day, but I just didn't fucking feel like it. I just didn't feel like it. It was an off day. I was feeling all kinds of way. It was weird. And I just was feeling blah, frustrated, a little disempowered, kind of moody. Like I just wanted to stay in and like snuggle up under the couch, right? And so I was trying to talk myself into going to this dance class, because again, it just made sense that I would go that day since I had the time and it fit into my calendar and everything. I was like, come on girl, like you got this, you can do this, like totally in that mindset spiral, trying to think my way through it, trying to pump myself up, talking myself into it as much as I could. And then I started talking myself out of it even. Like, you know what, actually, like if you want to just curl up on the couch, you totally can. Like you don't have to go today. It is the beginning of June. You have the whole month to fit 2 classes in. That's so much time. Why are you putting pressure on yourself to do it today? You don't even need to do it today, girl. Just relax, do you, do what feels right. It's cool, it's cool, it's cool. Like in this whole mental gymnastics spiral situation, trying to figure out, do I go, don't I go, blah, 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 right? Flashback or flash forward to later in the day, I put on my headphones to like sweep my pool, to just do a chore. And I was like, you know what, I feel like listening to music while I do this. And transported, let me tell you, transported. I didn't realize how much my body and my nervous system was just screaming for a little bit of that support and that nourishment and that pleasure, that state of being that is so easily conjured for me now, because this is my anchor, this is my go-to pleasure tool. It's giving me chills right now. Like my soul was just aching for some fucking music and dance. And I put on those headphones and I was like, holy shit, I feel like going to dance class. Like, this feels so good. I feel so empowered. I feel refreshed. This is me. This is the wholeness of who I am. Like, this state of being is all that I am and can be. And this is who I'm meant to walk around the world as, is this dancing musical bitch, right? And I went to dance class that day. I signed up right then and I was just instantly in a better mood. That day. It was still an off day. There was still some weird shit. I still had challenges and hurdles. There was some shit that happened, but that state of being that I have been creating and cultivating was like, once that was tapped into, once that anchor was like, once we made contact, that extra degree of, oh yeah, this is me, this is who I am, this is what's possible, this level of like confidence and empowerment, and fuck yeah, let's go to dance class, like let's connect with people, let's have fun, let's move our bodies, like this is who I really am, you know? And just making contact with it was just enough to put me into my body, to give my my nervous system that reminder that like, this feels good. Dance class feels fucking good, and you feel so great every time you go. Like, you want this, you need this, right? So again, just to recap, because we are at time, mindset isn't just an awareness tool. It's a tool that informs our empowered action, right? And so where we get stuck in the mindset spiral is trying to mindset our way through something in the way of, if I think this enough, I'll finally believe it, and then I'll be able to take action on it. Whereas, because mindset isn't just an awareness tool, but it's also that tool for informed action, it is your job as the Creatrix CEO to take action, to take the empowered action before you feel ready. Even if you're scared, like even if you're in doubt, it's to take action and demonstrate to your brain, to your mind, that the beliefs that you are practicing and the beliefs that you want to be true are possible by showing up and being them, by enacting them in real time, right? And the way we do that is through cultivating a relationship with our body, aka embodiment, using our pleasure tools as anchors to cultivate a state of being where the mindset and beliefs that we want to have feel congruent, feel possible. It's like hacking your state, but it's not even a hack. It's just being human. You know what I mean? It's just how to human. So that's what I have for you guys today. This is how you break free of that mindset spiral where you're trying to think your way through something or mindset your way through something. It's to get into your body. It's to tap into your body. It's to cultivate a relationship with your nervous system. It's to ask your body, what do you need right now to feel safer, to feel better, to feel more empowered? What do you need to create spaciousness in your being so that this belief feels just a little bit more possible, even if by 1 degree, so that you can actually show up and take action on it and be it in motion, right? That's the difference between the mindset magicians out there who are manifesting their desires left and right and the people who feel like they're stuck in the mindset spiral. And no fault of their own, right? We just don't know what we don't know. But I think in our industry and in our space, like in the coaching world and even in the like spiritual health and wellness spaces, mindset is like everything. But there's another piece to it, right? It's being in the body. So your body is the key. Pleasure tools are your key ingredient. And I want you to think about what are, some questions to walk away with, some homework to walk away with. Where are you feeling blocked where you want to do that thing, but it feels big, it feels scary, and you're like, I don't know if I can do it? What are the beliefs? What are the empowered beliefs that you want to have around it, right? Do the mindset work. How can you reframe it? How can you make it feel more manageable in your brain? Where can you eliminate some of the resistance in your brain? Where can you, have a conversation with your inner child and go, listen, I know this is scary, but like, what can we do to make it less scary? What are the beliefs you want to have about you and that experience or that action step, whatever it is? I want to be someone who XYZ, right? Have that mindset conversation. And then, ask yourself, what are my tools? What are my pleasure tools? What are my anchors? And to do this, think about when you're in your most desirable state of being. Like for me, again, it's the headphones and dancing, just like in my freaking kitchen. That's when I'm like, this is the whole Kelsey. So what are your, where do you feel like your best self? Where do you feel that empowered state of beingness, like in full force? And what are the tools or the anchors that can help you conjure that or create and cultivate that on a more regular basis? Go use those tools in conjunction with that action step, right? Just like the woman who is like, I need to have a bubble bath before every sales call so that I can get into that state of being that I want to show up in for the sales call. Go find your tools that cultivate that empowered state of being and use them in conjunction with your mindset work so that you can show up, be the Creatrix CEO that does the thing, that takes the action even when she's scared, even if she's wobbling on her self-doubt, but she knows how to show up for her body, for her nervous system, for her beingness, so that she can be that version of herself before it feels fully real, right? That's manifesting magic. That's mindset manifesting magic because it has that embodied piece included, okay? So that's what I have for you guys today. Let me know what your favorite pleasure tools are in the comments. Is it the bubble bath? I like a bubble bath, but it's not really my empowerment tool. It's more like my relaxation tool. Is it dancing? Is it music? Is it breath work? I know people love breath work. Is it a good fucking workout, right? Maybe you like to smash things. I don't know. Like, what is your flavor of empowerment? What is that? What is your, what are the tools that get you into that empowered state of being? We want to know because, and seriously, we want to know, like as a community, we're always looking for more tools, more things that can help us conjure, cultivate, and like create that empowered state of beingness. So what you use might be something that someone's never even thought about. So go ahead and drop it in the comments, and we'll see what everybody's experiences are. And maybe someone needs a new idea, a fresh idea, and you have the exact thing that they're looking for, right? If you found this live valuable, please go ahead and give it a like, share it with a friend who needs to hear this.
Thank you for watching, and remember, sharing is caring. If you found value in this video, please share it with a friend who needs to hear it. As always, we love your feedback. Please share with us your biggest takeaways in the comments, and for more personal interaction, come join the Creatrix community over on Instagram.